Hey tubers, Tony D here. Thanks for checking out my video. Starting a bankroll without making a deposit. Part 3. Final chapter. Well, so now you're playing free rolls. You're playing password free rolls, regular free rolls, satellite free rolls, all of that fun stuff. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're climbing the ladder to making a bankroll. We're going to touch base on just a couple of things here. I'm going to play a few tournaments, go over some things on what I believe helps me just a little bit on not being distracted while playing these tournaments and climbing up the ladder just a bit. First thing, I'm sure you all have encountered this, have come across this so far. I like to call them AIMs. A-I-M. All-in maniacs. Every free roll you're going to have them, especially in the first and second rounds. AIMs, all-in maniacs. They will go all in with any hand at any given time, hopefully to double up their chips immediately. I personally stay away from them. I don't play them. I don't do that. I am not an AIM. Only way I will go all in against these players in the first, second round immediately is if I have queens or better. Queens, kings, aces, nothing else. No ace king, no mid pair, no ace rag, no suited connectors. Queens or better is the only way that I'm going to do this. So today we're starting off this video. I am entered in two $10 free rolls. This first free roll on the right here, I'm doing fairly well. I have just about average stack of chips. There are 50 players left. There was 434 players in it. I am placed in 22nd place right now. And like I said, there's 50 players left. The other one I'm playing has just started. So, the first thing that we went over just now were the AIMs and how I do not play against them. By the end of the first, mid-second round, majority of them are gone. Stay away from them. Don't play them. Don't be one of them. That's not a way to start your bankroll, and I don't see you going far with that type of play at all. Next thing is, on the bottom left screen, you see a black box. That normally is white, like that, and it is a chat box. Granted, I love watching this guy say, hey, how do you call that? You're a moron. You're not supposed to be playing that hand, blah, blah, blah. I love watching people argue and go through all of that. But it is a distraction when you're playing multiple tables and you're tied up into one of these conversations. Just say you're playing 3 or 4 tables and you keep going back to that one just to see what this person's going to say next, is also a distraction. Sorry about that. Wasn't sure if it was recording or not. So what I like to do is I like to keep it on the stats section where it is black, where I cannot see these people chat. I was intrigued in this conversation of how this guy's cursing another guy out, and it was just something that distracted me long enough to where one of my tables automatically sat out because I wasted the allotted amount of time, and I was sitting out and it wasn't popping up because I was sitting out in it. And when I went back to that hand, when I went back to that table, I clicked the previous hand and I folded pocket aces. Who knows what I would have folded before that? That could have risked me from moving up, winning hands, winning pots, and coming into money. So that's why I do not like that. All my screens are all blacked. I do not follow chat at this time anymore for that one reason. So we're starting off this video with the original $3.23 that we have won in the previous video, which I thought it was $3.25, but it was $3.23. And we're going to see what we can do. We're going to play some free rolls. There's a bunch of them happening today, and we're going to hopefully build our bankroll without making a deposit. We're going to continue discussing what I believe can help me get just a slight little bit of edge on moving up in these tournaments and not getting distracted. And what can help also, besides just being a distraction. Another thing that I like to do is, if you are playing in these tournaments, you start seeing regular players. Regular player is somebody that you constantly see over and over and over again. There is none of those players that I see on either of these two tables here, but we're going to pick one at random and use as an example for what I like to do, which gives me information on the player as well as helping me move up in the tournament. So we are going to pick, let's pick somebody on this table because this is the main table that I'm playing on. Again, I have never seen these players before, so we're going to pick this guy right here on the bottom. If you right click on his name, there is an option for player notes. What that is you can make notes on these players. When I first found that tab, when I first started playing, if a guy beat me, I'd type in, oh, kill this guy next time. He knocked me out of a tournament. That's useless information for me in the future tournaments. What I like to do, if he is a regular player, if I do see him from time and time again, I like to watch him for a while, see what he does, see how he plays his position hands, see when he bets, see when he raises. And that gives me a little bit of information on a player. So then I will put that in his note. If he bets under the gun, makes a big bet, I want to see his hand. When I finally do see that move, I will write, always bets big hands under the gun. This feature has helped me in the past. I was watching this player time and time again, and he would never show his cards on this certain move that he did. Every so often, when his time bank came down to 5 seconds, he'd shove with a huge raise, no matter what was on the board, no matter what was in the hand, and I've never seen those hands. And then one time, it was in a showdown, and he had a show, and he was bluffing. So I saw him again, and he did the same thing, never seen his hands, and I saw him again. To make a long story short, every time he did that, he wasted his time bank to 5 seconds with a bluff. So he did it against me. And I noticed if you do make a player note, there will be a yellow sticky note or a yellow pad next to the player's name. I noticed that he had that. So I opened up his player notes and I saw what I have written about him. And it was the move that he did on me. I re-raised him. He called immediately. I busted him out of the tournament, and that put me ITM in the money in one of my free rolls. So these player notes are helpful. They're a good tool to have. Here we go. So we've been here. I've been here so many times. I'm short stacked. There's 12 players left to make the final table. I am, of course, number 12. There were 434 players in this tournament. Top 10 pay. I have an aim on my table, an all-in maniac. He's just betting every hand, raising every hand, no matter what he has. He just had a 2-7 of clubs, and he beat this guy. This guy had pocket queens, and just ridiculous. So that's what we're dealing with here. The other tournament I'm playing in, I'm doing okay. I'm just below average. There is 55 players left in the tournament. So we'll see where we go for here. Hopefully 2 players will go all in, and I'll make top 10 by the string of my teeth, if that's what it's called. I have ace jack. I'm on a button. There is 1 call under the gun, and then the aim is after me. I have no choice but to press with my 8,000, and hopefully everybody will fold, and I will pick up the pot, and we'll see what happens. Under the gun called with ace-6 of diamonds. 2 aces hit, and I take the pot. Now I'm back up to 21. So I am moved up 1 space. I am 11 out of 12. So that's good. Another thing I would like to go over on what I believe helps me in these tournaments, which takes away my distraction, is something I like to call a dump tournament. I usually use those satellites, which you all know that I do not like to play in, as a dump tournament. What a dump tournament is, I like to have a spare tournament in the background that I don't care about. So when I do get that bad beat against me, which it happens often in free rolls, and I so desperately want to play the next hand, the 10-5 spades, or the Queen-2 offsuit that you're not supposed to play, but I'm on tilt and I want to play it, I play it in the dump tournament. It gets out my frustrations, and I don't waste time and chips on other tables. Like I said, it's a tournament I don't care about. It's a dump tournament. I can play those rag cards. And you never know. You might hit with them. You might not. Who cares? It's a dump tournament. You don't need it. All right, let's see where we are back in this tournament. There's 11 players left, so 1 more player makes it in the money. Hopefully that will be me. Queen Jack offsuit, and the aim raised, the minimum raise under the gun. I will call him to see what he has. Jack comes up on the board, and I'm going to go all in with 16,000. He has 98,000. Let's see what he does. Hopefully he doesn't have higher than my jack. The jack up, he has 910. And I took him. Now I've got 44,000. So he will play anything, this guy. I've been watching him for the last 2 hours. So we will be back and we will see what happens. So with this aim player, I don't know if you can see it. He is right here under my name. On the top right of the screen, there is a little sticky note. I added a note to him, so I know how he plays in the future. I dubbed him. Only thing in the note says AIM, which is All In Maniac. I am currently involved in 3 tournaments right now, all $10 free rolls. I have just registered for a 4th, which should be starting fairly soon. There's 130 players in it. These free rolls start with 270 players. So I have moved to 7th position. There are 11 players remaining. We are hoping to make it in the money, which would be 55 cents. Top 10 spots pay. 8th through 10th place pays 55 cents. Another thing I like to do during these tournaments, just for me, I don't believe it betters the tournament in any way or my play in any way, or it doesn't give me any type of information on the players. I just like to do it. I have all the lobbies pulled up for every game that I play. Reason being is I like to know where the tournament is at. So if I pull up a lobby, I have the whole shebang right there. How many players were in it, how many are remaining, what the average stack is. I always try and stay above average or close to average. It always tells me what place I'm in. And it shows short stacks and high stacks, just a basic all-around knowledge of the tournament that you are playing in. So we are on hand for hand right now. That starts at 13 players left, meaning there are 2 tables. So it will only play. The other table right now is not playing because we are in the middle of a hand. So when this hand ends, both tables start up. That's what hand for hand is until it gets to the final 10. And then it just starts off with a regular final 9. And then it's a final table, and we move up from there. So if you can see on the bottom right of the screen, it says ITM, which means in the money. We have made it to 10th place. We are guaranteed 55 cents. That would go into our account and add on to the previous winnings of our free rolls. The second tournament that we were in, there are 40 players left. We are short stacked, so this is going to be a tough one to make the final table. We'll see what happens. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is starting a bankroll without making a deposit, and it is called free rolls after free rolls after free rolls. So on our main tournament where we made it in the money, we are now at the final table. This is what the final table looks like. The background, or skin as it is called, changes. There are 9 players left. So hopefully now we can just move up the ladder. I like to play a little cautious here and let people get knocked out because they play with everything. Like this guy just went all in with 8-5 for some reason. He had a nice little chip stack, which I won't do. The aim is now above me instead of below me. So that's going to help me a lot because he raises so much. So I will fold all my mediocre hands to his raises. And hopefully by me sitting out so much, I'll just move up in spots. Now we have another all-in here. There are 7 out of 8 players right now. I'm in 7th spot out of 8 players. The aim called the all-in, and so did somebody else. Let's see what happens. 5 of hearts, queen of hearts, king of diamonds on board. We have another all-in, and the aim has called 10s, jacks, and ace-king. The aim wins with 3 10s on the river. So he just knocked out 2 people. So now there are 6 people left. We are currently on break. 6th and 7th spot pays 75 cents. So thanks to that aim, I just moved up from 55 cents to 75 cents. We're currently on break now for 4 minutes. So I will be back shortly. So we have pocket queens here. There are 6 players left. I am short stacked with 26,000. I have no choice but to go all in. Everybody folds. I take the pot. And we see what happens. We keep moving on. I am in 3 tournaments right now. The other tournament, there are 37 places left. I am really, really short stacked. I have 3,000 chips. Average stack is 20,000. I don't see myself going far any further in this tournament. But you never know. Luck happens. We'll see what happens. So on our main tournament, there are 4 players left. The aim has knocked out a couple of players. The aim, as I like to call him, all-in maniac. So we are now up to 95 cents added to our account on building and starting a bankroll without making a deposit. I don't see me going any further than 4th place. I have 2,000 chips left. I am in 2 other tournaments. One of them is pretty close to the money. There are 31 players left. So I am going to start concentrating on that one, and whatever happens on the main one happens. I am also entered in a 3rd tournament, along with I just registered for a satellite tournament, so I can use that as my dump tournament while I'm playing the other money free rolls. Let's see what happens here. I have 2,000 chips, 2,336. The antes are 750. So I will be blinded out within a hand or 2. This is my final hand of the main tournament that I was playing. I have 9-10. I have no chips left. He has 4. The aim has 4-8, and what's he hit? 4-4-10-8 for a full house. I have won 95 cents into my account on starting a bankroll. So we are moving up. It is possible to start a bankroll without making a deposit. So please subscribe to my page, like my page, comment my page for more upcoming videos. In the next video, we will be doing more free rolls, along with moving on to micro stakes cash games, micro stakes tournaments, and so on. So please, again, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe. Good luck to you, and I hope to see you at the tables.